From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 18th, 2017. 2 Israeli soldiers were injured in a deliberate car-ramming terror attack this afternoon in the West Bank. The incident took place at the entrance to the Palestinian village of Beit Anun, just north of Hebron. When a Palestinian driver drove his vehicle towards the soldiers, they managed to jump out of the way and sustained light injuries while doing so. The terrorist was shot and killed by Israeli security forces at the scene. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met today with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban in Budapest. In a joint press conference, Orban, who recently faced criticism for his praise of Hungarian Holocaust-era leader Miklos Horthy, took responsibility for Hungary's role in the Holocaust. Orban said, "We are aware of the fact that we have quite a difficult chapter of history behind us, and I wanted to make it very clear to him," referring to Netanyahu, that the government of Hungary in a previous period committed a mistake, even committed a sin, when it did not protect the Jewish citizens of Hungary. He said, "I want to make it clear that it is our belief that every single Hungarian government has the obligation to protect and defend all of its citizens, regardless of their birth and origins." Orban added that Hungary has zero tolerance for anti-Semitism. Netanyahu thanked Orban for his statements and for his support of Israel. Israel police said Muslim worshippers are coming to pray at the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, going through the metal detector gates that were placed at the site's entrance when it was reopened on Sunday following its 2-day closure after the deadly terror attack on Friday in which 2 Israeli police officers were murdered. As we reported to you yesterday, leaders of the Waqf, the Muslim authority that manages the Temple Mount, had called on Muslims to not enter the site in protest of the new security measures. However, Israel police said today that since the reopening of the Temple Mount on Sunday, Muslim worshippers continue to arrive and enter the area of the Temple Mount during all hours of the day, adding that the Israel police continues to act to enable a return to a safe routine in the Temple Mount area, its entrances, and the wider area. At the same time, there are also reports of some violent clashes between Muslim worshippers and Israeli forces last night, as well as reports of those worshippers who are heeding the calls to not enter the site. And today, the Fatah party, which is the party of the Palestinian Authority, called for a, quote, day of rage tomorrow in response to the new security measures. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge visited the former Nazi concentration camp at Stutthof in Poland today. Prince William and Kate Middleton are on a 5-day visit to Poland and Germany, and today met with 2 survivors of the camp, where over 60,000 people perished, among them 28,000 Jews. Stutthof is said to be the first concentration camp set up outside the borders of Nazi Germany. An exhibit on the infamous Eichmann trial has opened in New York City for the first time. Operation Finale, the capture and trial of Adolf Eichmann, opened on Sunday at the Museum of Jewish Heritage, a living memorial to the Holocaust. It features some 130 now declassified artifacts from the collection of the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, shedding light on the capture and subsequent trial of the notorious Nazi war criminal. The exhibit is jointly produced by the Mossad with Beit HaTfutzot, the Museum of the Jewish People in Tel Aviv, and the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage in Cleveland, Ohio. It runs through December the 22nd. Well, the 20th annual Maccabiah Games concluded last night just outside Jerusalem. The Games, which are said to be the 3rd largest sporting event in the world, began on July the 4th and saw the participation of 10,000 athletes from 80 countries. Athletes competed in some 45 sporting competitions, including hockey, lacrosse, baseball, wrestling, golf, archery, and wheelchair sports, including basketball and tennis. Israel won the most medals at the 2017 Games, followed by the U.S., Australia, and Canada. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, July the 18th. At 7 o'clock, U.S. Ambassador to the UN Human Rights Council Keith Harper discusses America's presence on the council. At 8 o'clock, it's more from the American Jewish Committee's Global Forum with a discussion on U.S. foreign policy with Ambassador Wendy Sherman, the Hudson Institute's Mike Doran, and AJC's Jason Isaacson. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Rabbi Robert Wolkoff on L'chaim, and at 10, actor John Voight is honored at the Shaarei Tzedek Gala. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Dr. Edna Friedberg, a historian at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, discusses the 75th anniversary of the mass arrests of Jews in Paris at Valdiv in 1942, when I sit in for Mark Golub on tonight's In the News at 6:30. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 18th, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader.